Do you guys remember 83, the Cold War gone hot Rising Storm spiritual successor being developed by Blue Dot Games, consisting of some of the old Rising Storm developers who were subsequently shut down a couple of years ago and then bought the IP back and now are continuing to develop the game, and it's set to launch in early access later this year. And after spending some time with the Steam Next Fest demo, I don't think that's a really good idea. I know making these videos piss people off. I'm judging a game based on its current status and not what the game is potentially going to be in the future if everything goes well, as we know game development never does. I made a video last year on the Forever Winter talking about its current state and how I thought the game was not ready for early access, and I got roasted by an entire community, even though now when you look over the fence at what's going on over there, it's kind of lining up exactly how I said it was going to. And in the past, every time I cover one of these kind of games, I get a flurry of comments saying that all I do is shit and punch down on indie developers, when in reality, I really just want them to have the best foot forward because first impressions are everything. And nowadays, it's even harder to talk about games in this light because when I do, everybody starts to look over the fence at the game that me and my team are making. And people are stacking these videos, waiting for the day that my game goes out to shit on absolutely everything because I criticize 83, because I criticize this game, because I criticize that game. It's been a fun couple of years dealing with that bullshit. So when it comes to 83, a game that in my opinion is way more in my wheelhouse, I was a huge fan of the first Rising Storm. I loved Rising Storm 2, and I play these kind of games all the time. And let me tell you, 83 is doing absolutely nothing to set itself apart from anybody else, nor really bringing any sort of quality level to the table. The game is as bare bones as possible with a basic attack and defend mode. There are spawn points, there are capture zones, there is a basic player controller with some of the most janky animations that I have seen in quite some time. Vaulting over objects literally breaks animations. I'll say this, as an early access product that is eventually, I think, going to be charging money for it, it is not worth A, your time, nor any of your money. The map design is so rudimentary, you're walking around and it looks like something from the late 90s. The terrain is just flat. All of these assets are just kind of copy and pasted around. And it just, I'll be honest, it looks like an incredibly low budget has gone into us. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. There are a lot of teams out here that can do a lot of great things with small budgets. But what I'm seeing here just doesn't feel like it would be even worth supporting, playing, or spending any time in. I worry for these guys if they go to early access later this year. I do. Especially when it comes to a multiplayer shooter like this that lives and dies by people playing the game. I don't think there's enough on the bone to make people even care past the first hour. The gunplay just feels so early, and what's crazy is even the vibes that we were seeing in the initial trailers for the game, it just doesn't feel like the visuals or the actual atmosphere of the game represents anything that we saw in those initial trailers. The game just feels very, very basic, to the point where I think some people would be like, okay, this is a tech demo that you're pushing to publishers to try to get funding. But I know for me, I wouldn't even want to show this to anybody at the current state. The way that they lay out the assets is just so copy and paste, very static. All of the boxes are in the same position. They're just copied and pasted and lifted up and stacked perfectly. And it just feels so, everything just feels so square, if that makes sense. I think that's the best way to put it. You know, I use the comparison to the Forever Winter. At least the Forever Winter had an art style that people could jive with. There is absolutely nothing here with 83 that makes me go, ooh, that's cool. And here's the thing, as an early access product, there is absolutely no doubt that there is potential for this game to be something in the future. But as my channel is living proof, there are so many games that come out with oozing potential that turn into nothing because, I mean, look, game development isn't linear. Game development is a battle of attrition. There are so many highs and lows, ups and downs, and everything comes in waves. You can be making a lot of progress and then things stall because you find bugs that if you fix this one, it leads to a trickle-down effect that affects other things. Game development isn't linear. There are so many things that can go wrong when it comes to actually working on a piece of software like this, on top of the fact that right now the multiplayer space is one of the most competitive spaces to enter in. There's so many choices out there in general, and there's so many other better choices than this There is no reason to look at 83 right now and go, yeah, I want to put some rounds in there. I just don't see it. And it's unfortunate because these guys were a success story to me. I was thinking about how they bought the IP back and how they're doing it on their own. And you can clearly see that there are a ton of budget restraints. And while I can empathize with a dev team struggling to create something, having a small shoestring budget, that's exactly the position that we're in right now. It just feels like there wasn't enough of a step forward in terms of working on polishing the presentation. And if I could say from my perspective, it feels like they're going to early access because they're out of money. And it feels like they're hoping and banking on the community's support to be able to bankroll the rest of this development. And while that works sometimes, you go to early access because you know you're going to finish the game. And even in Steam's own TOS, you shouldn't rely on sales to have to finish the game. You should already be able to finish it, and you're giving people an early slice of the game. It would be like you're making a sandwich and it's work in progress and it doesn't have all the meat on it. This is more like you haven't even baked the fucking bread yet. You threw some flour on the fucking table and now you're telling everybody to lick it up. And I will say the community is seemingly sharing the same sentiment as me here. We have this post here, which hasn't been locked yet. Not impressed with the demo at all. This person says they're a veteran of Rising Storm 1, 2 in Vietnam. I can't say I'm impressed with this game so far, even if it's supposed to be a successor to the games above. I'm in the same boat as OP, played R1. I think a lot of people are feeling the same way. This person says they don't think the game will be ready for Q4 2025. We got what they had in store, a 6-year-old prototype based on older tech, looks like crap, plays like crap on crap maps, and I still play Rising Storm 2 Vietnam from time to time. Yeah, it doesn't feel good. Please keep this thread civil. Criticism and discussion of the demo is allowed, but discussion of politics and personal attacks are not allowed. And fair enough. I don't want to sit here and attack the developers. I don't want to sit here and completely shit on the fucking game. I'm coming here as a concerned fan of 83 and Blue Dot Games and wondering what the hell is actually going on. This thread here, granted it has been locked, just cut the losses and move on to a new project once you fired whoever greenlit the previous inane demo launch. The demo was perfectly engineered to make everybody not want to play the game, and the worst part is nobody asked for a demo. They could have just kept working on it for a month and probably have a semi-successful early access release instead of this atrocity. Now here's where I disagree. One thing I will say, as a pusher of consumer advocacy and wanting to get as much information about the products that we're buying as possible, I like that they put the demo out. I think it put it on everybody's radar that this game isn't what we thought it was going to be. It's not even close to what we want it to be for a game going on sale on Steam, early access or not. I don't think this is gonna go, and here we go. Oh, let me see. I haven't even seen this 19 hours ago. Feels like an asset flip. No spotting, rough graphics, clunky menus. Something about the gunplay feels more arcadey than... It just feels awful all around. Also, the map they let us play is miserable. Thank you. Where's weapon inertia? Yeah, and that's another thing. The tried and true gunplay of Rising Storm and Vietnam, you always had that like dead zone where you could look around before your screen actually moved and you could move the gun around. If you played old Rising Storm, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That's not really here. This feels like a team who played Rising Storm a few times back in the day and then wanted to try to recreate it a decade later. And that's not a good feeling. Proning is basically broken, and that is true. I'm going to play a clip here. Look at this. The fuck? What the fuck is this? The fuck are we doing? This area in the one map that we played, if you lay down in a certain like open area of the building, it does this. Oh, what the fuck? Oh my God. This game is fucking chalked, man. Whoa. What the fuck is going on? Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. So I think what's happening is there's major collider issues happening here. Fucking shit just throws me in a loop-de-loop here. When I started this channel and I started covering early access stuff, a lot of people were really sick and tired of early access games coming out and taking 10 fucking years to then eventually just be abandoned. Or they come out and they're abandoned almost fucking instantly. They have great trailers, everything looks good, and then it just turns out to be basically a scam. But I will say, man, in the last year or so, it feels like people are just, it is what it is, man. Fuck it, who cares? Let me know your guys' thoughts down below. While you're down there, do all the YouTuber things. Leave a like on the video, subscribe with the bell set to all so you never miss a video. For everything FPS, I'm your fucking guy. A shout out to every single person who is supporting me over on Patreon. If you guys want to support, the link is down in the description and the top pinned comment. I just launched my new podcast, Push to Talk, with myself and Crash Games as your co-host. The first episode just released last week. And if you're a Patreon member, you get 48-hour early access to episodes. They're going to be coming out every 2 weeks. So go over there, get tapped in. I appreciate you guys watching. My name is Big Fry, as always, and I'll see you on the next one.